service, the secret intelligence organization that we are all a part of, I would like to welcome you to this mission review seminar. While I would recommend that you would not send text messages or take phone calls during this session, photography and videos are highly encouraged for your personal benefit as agents and the shared benefit of those on your social media platforms. Without further ado, welcome to the stage, your hosts for this seminar, Special Agents Ness and Vetsch.
Welcome everybody! How are you doing this evening?
Thank you all so much for being here. We are so excited that the service could be here in the Luther Room as part of the Edmonton Fringe Festival for our 8-part seminar series on how to be a better agent.
And of course, as you're all aware, this is the very last seminar that we will have during this Fringe. Thank you for filling it up. Give yourselves a round of applause.
And assisting us today, we will have musical support from Agent Raine.
And of course, right in the back, in the booth, we have Agents Dransutavicius and Agent Hunchak. Give them a round of applause for doing all the lights and the sounds. Clown horn.
Now, let's get on with this seminar. We all know that we are here to learn how we can be better agents of the service. And the best way that we can learn is to follow by example.
And there are many commendable examples that we could pull from.
Of course, agents like James Bond.
Like Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible.
Dora the Explorer. The list goes on.
But of course, all of these examples, they pale in comparison compared to the top agent of the service. Of course, we're talking about Agent Thunder. Agent Thunder is the most commendable agent to ever work for the espionage business, period.
He has a track record unmatched by any other agents, and we will be looking at one of his incredible missions tonight. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a very large catalog that we can select from here.
Yes, in fact, it is so vast that you can just take any noun and any adjective and throw that together, and that would be one of the mission titles.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. So get brainstorming for that.
But first, of course, we need a little bit of a security protocol because we need to make sure that everyone here is allowed to be here.
Right. So first off, on the count of 3, if we can all shout out your secret agent name.
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
I heard Agent Hershey, I think. Yes. You make good chocolate and you make good work. And of course, the second question is, what is the very first secret agent gadget that you ever received from the service? It could be any object, okay? 3, 2, 1. Exploding sunglasses, I heard. Oh, very good. Very cool, but very hot later.
Volatile mix. Now that we have cross-referenced all of your responses with your service personnel files, as well as having removed those without the proper clearances.
Yeah, Dave. Don't look back, he's not there.
Let's get on with selecting our mission.
First, of course, we need a noun. I'm going to ask this side of the audience for a noun. It is a person, place, or thing if you're rusty. Okay? 3, 2, 1. I heard apple.
You heard apple?
I heard apple. Like Adam and Eve, I think.
And from this side of the audience, if I could get an adjective that is a describing word. In 3, 2, 1.
Shiny.
I heard shiny.
Oh. Wait a minute. Wait.
Oh,
right!
Of course.
Oh, I remember this mission.
Mission
Shiny Apple.
This is one of Agent Thunder's most classic missions.
Oh, yes. This one, of course, always kept the Doctor away. This is the greatest mission that he's ever been on.
A prime example that we can learn from tonight.
Mm-hmm. I think we have everything we have. Okay.
So this will be Agent Thunder in Mission
Shiny Apple. We begin in a large orchard in California.
Yes, bright green fields, row upon row of trees, filled to the brim, boughs drooping with plump, luscious fruits.
The sun is just about to go down, and all of the employees of this orchard are just going home.
As this crew of employees leaves, we see a black unmarked van pull up, and another crew unloads. They are all armed with little syringe devices filled with poison, and they're going around from tree to tree, injecting all the apples.
When they inject these apples, they go from red and green to purple and yellow. Not yellow, those are actual apples. Magenta. These magenta and purple apples are like turning into soft liquid and melting off of these trees. They are completely destroying the fabric of this biological spectacle.
As they are slowly moving their way through the orchard, we see another black unmarked vehicle pull up behind. This one, however, it's like a little scooter.
This scooter, in fact, has a large vat. This vat is filled with a yellowy kind of liquid, and it's driving and it goes around. This figure gets off and gets the attention of all these poisoned apple people.
With that, he gives a big clang on the side of the vat with the hose end of it. And then he lets loose with all the liquid that is in the vat.
With the power of a fire hose, it just completely blows away all of these henchmen. Whoa!
We see this yellow liquid is splashing them up against the trees, knocking them unconscious against the hard bark of all the apple trees.
Some of the purple and magenta goop apples are dropping on their faces. Karma at its finest.
We see a few of these henchmen manage to dodge the spray and make their way toward the figure from the scooter.
But all of these figures are down, but one is still up. He is a large man in this big white suit with this big hat.
And we see the vat spray has ended, and this figure knows he has to take this man on.
This man is like 400 pounds, and he's 7'4". You're trying to wreck my apples that are rightly mine, but an apple punch will suit you fine.
As he swings, the figure from the scooter ducks underneath, swiftly swinging up and around. He gets him by the neck, this large figure, barely holding on in the rodeo ride of his life. He manages to stagger him backward, and with a quick spin and a shift of his weight, the figure trips over the scooter, falling backward into the large vat with a massive sploosh of yellow. The figure walks over, closes the lid on the vat. And that is why I always go with orange juice. This figure, of course, is
Agent Thunder.
This is the one. Hold his fingers like a gun, fighting evil on the run. Never stops until he's won, for he has the skill. Defending justice is his will. The mission never fails to thrill. Odds are stacked against him, but still
It is now the next morning, the sun shining down upon this orchard. All of the villains who had been going around destroying apples have been loaded up into the vat with their large white-suited boss.
We see other figures with white uniforms with a big S on the back, standing for service. They are actually injecting all of these goop apples with a different serum that revitalizes them not only to the regular apples they were, but big old delicious Granny Smiths like we all like.
Agent Thunder himself is seated upon the scooter that he rode in, holding one of the apples that wasn't infected, and he's doing that cool thing where he's eating it with a knife. It's so much cooler when you eat an apple like that.
The tree right next to Agent Thunder, then a giant hole in it, a big knot, opens up and scans Agent Thunder's face. It then opens from both sides and splits apart.
And we see, emerging from the bark, is the face of the director. Agent, I'm glad that I found you so fast.
Director, is that you?
Yes, it is me. If you wouldn't mind undoing the rest of the bark around this disguise here.
Sorry about that.
The director just climbs out of one of these apple trees that was there the whole time.
Sorry, were you here the whole time?
Oh, that's unimportant, Agent. What is important is your next mission briefing.
Oh, is it another orchard? I can't stand this place.
No. But you did look pretty cool eating your apple like that. Regardless, it's time. If you'll just follow me around. They head their way along the many rows of orchards.
They jog there because it's a nice day out.
It's a brisk morning and it's the perfect time to jog. They reach another tree. This one seems to be completely bare, no apples upon it. The director pulls out a key card and, slotting it into one of the knots on the tree, opens up a large stairwell in the middle of the orchard. After you, Agent.
Thank you, Director.
They head on down into this base.
They go into this base, and it is a very pristine, state-of-the-art facility. It has blue lighting ribbons pointing the direction of where you're supposed to go at all times.
Everything looks phenomenal, except the ceiling is still just dirt with roots growing down under it.
It crumbles every now and then. It ruins all the nice clothing that all these service members have.
The two of them head down the hallway into a large briefing room. Among the tangle of roots, there are also electronic cables, all hooked up to a big monitor on the far wall. You see, Agent, your next mission will involve you heading over to the east coast of this country.
Oh, the East Coast, you say?
Yes, you'll be heading on up to New York City.
Ah, New York, the Big Apple.
Yes, indeed, that's what they call it. But things are not all well out in the NYC.
Well, what makes you say that, other than everything that happens in New York?
We've recently heard tell of a strange corporation that has taken up a spot just down in Manhattan.
And what is the name of this corporation?
GROCO. GROCO. We see the logo for GROCO appear on the screen. It's a large green emblem. It's a very sloppy design work, really.
Yeah, it's just a G, and then the C is just outlining inside that G.
Yeah, but they clearly just had the two fonts and they just kind of smushed them together. They didn't it's very lazy. I did our poster design. This emblem shows up there, and the director continues. They have bought up more and more plots of land all throughout the island of Manhattan.
Well, that sounds very unlikely. It's hard to get land as there is.
Very true, very true. But all of these facilities, all of these plots they bought, they built the exact same buildings. These large monoliths made out of chrome and steel. But they don't seem to have any doors, windows per se. They're not businesses. We can't quite tell what these structures are made for.
Well, let me guess, Director. You'd like me to go to one of these facilities and ask their information services a few questions.
That is precisely it, Agent. Well, Director, I'd be happy to go along. Is there anything that I should know? Is there any contacts a little more local on the East Coast that I could refer to once I'm there?
Oh, yes, Agent. Actually, have you ever heard of the app Uber?
Yes. I'm more of a lift man myself.
Oh, yes. Well, there is actually a Uber driver who was dropping off one of the employees of one of these large corporations, one of these buildings. And this employee has agreed to do work with us and give us as much information as she knows. She goes all around the city, and she will be your personal Uber driver this entire time.
Excellent. Do I still have to tip?
Do you ever tip?
I mean, it depends on the ride.
You don't tip. I get it. You don't tip. Before you go, of course, you need to go to the doctor. He has a few little toys for you.
Oh, certainly. Where is he in this facility?
Actually, he's right down here.
With
I just
that-
have to pull this lever.
With the lever pull, the floor just disappears below Agent Thunder, and he drops straight down.
He goes down this large tube slide, and he goes left and right, and a big old loop. And he finally hits the ground.
Oh, Doc, is that you?
Oh, Agent! Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, you look well. You look well. How was that Apple mission?
Oh, it went as well as could be expected.
Oh, that's.
You know, I'm always more of an OJ man myself.
I bet you said that at the end too.
That's exactly right. It's just a personal preference. It wasn't really a joke or anything.
Well, if I was there, I would have laughed. So you want a couple of gadgets, I presume, for this New York mission?
That's what I was certainly hoping for.
Okay, perfect. Let me just see here. Oh, no, not that. No, not that. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay. So this is a makeup mirror.
Oh, just a small compact, you're saying?
Oh yes, it has no makeup inside. In fact, all of these materials, all of these substances, is not makeup at all, and you would want to be careful if you ever put that on your face.
These together, if you actually mix them, they react in a very volatile chemical reaction that will help melt through things. It produces a very bright flame, very similar to thermite, but it's my own invention, I assure you. Yes.
But only if I mix the chemicals together.
Yes, so you've got the little palette brush at the top there. Just give a stroke with one end, flip it, match the other on top, and away you go, bing, bang, boom.
Oh, I could get used to this.
And not only that, the mirror is also pretty special. It is a supercomputer that is just compact enough to be in this little makeup kit.
Oh, excellent. So I'll have access to all of the service files while I'm on the go.
And not only that, the files of New York itself. They have terrible security. Anyway, I have one more gadget for you. Let me just see if I can find it here. No, I think it's over here. I think it's...
Right here, of course. If you're going to New York, you're gonna want to fit in. Here, it's a little pin. On it, it's just a little pin that just says like I heart NY, but it's in the shape of an apple because the Big Apple kind of thing. There you go.
This is a lot of gimmicks in one.
Well, you know, I just look at whatever souvenirs I find in there. But certainly, the surprising thing about it, you notice the little pin that was in there, the little pin that was right in there.
You're very close to me
You
right
see
now.
that one? This is very integral for the entire explanation, you know.
I'm listening.
Once you give it a little twist around here, it extends out into a full pole staff. Incredibly thin, lightweight, and right back into a compact size for you.
I can hardly see it. It's like you were miming that.
Yes. Well, you know, if you're going to New York, you've got your compact, you got your little pin, you gotta keep things small. It's a big, busy city.
Well, thank you, Doc. I think I'll be the first person who visits New York that won't be an annoying tourist.
Excellent. And then Doc pulls another lever, and he gets shot down through another tube, up and out of the facility, into the orchard.
Is there a loop in this one?
Yeah, it's the front one.
Yeah. Oh.
As Agent Thunder tumbles through these tubes, we travel across the country, over to New York City, inside one of these GrowCo buildings.
We go inside, and this place looks like it was made 30 years from now. It's so high tech, it's so advanced. Everything is made out of either marble or white plastic.
But everything within here, it's all built around the edges of the large obelisk shape. It's just like perfectly rectangular, reaching up to its slight point at the top. Inside, it's entirely hollow, even though it takes up pretty much a full city block.
In this hollow area, we actually go down into it, and in the very center, sitting on like a hanging chair, like a chair that doesn't have like a stand, it's just hanging from a ceiling, kind of like a hammock, but just a chair. Is this man who he has a white turtleneck, glasses that are rimmed with white as well,
And a strange goatee. It's not like a normal one. It's got like 2 weird points at the bottom. It is strange.
And you know what? Let's lean into it even harder. He has very ugly corduroy pants. And the turtleneck is short sleeve.
Both short sleeve and like midriff bearing. Anyway, this strangely dressed man in the strangely hanging chair. Ah. So we finally got the last location we needed here.
Sorry, were you talking to me?
You're the only other person in this room, yes.
But they call me the silent one for a reason.
Charles, I call you Charles, because
All
that's
right.
what it says on your name.
Yeah, it does.
Don't you understand? Spins the hanging chair. Oh, it spins a little too far, sorry.
Here, let me...
Thank you. Now, Charles, do you understand what it means now that we have all 8 locations across this island of Manhattan?
It means that we've placed them perfectly.
Exactly. It's in perfect location for us to enact our plan. We can begin to convert the entire island, and once we have that done, we can spread it further.
They won't see what's coming.
But I have also heard some other things. Spin back. Dang, it's really hard to control this thing. We see a monitor on this white plastic wall. We've got a little bit of a hint of some trouble incoming towards our facilities. Now, I know you're the silent one. Do you think you could put some of your silent assassin skills to the use?
I'm gonna talk regardless of you calling me the silent one.
Sorry, I should have stuck with Charles. This is what I established.
Yeah, I realize that I'm making my own problems.
Charles the silent one, last name Quiet. Charles Quiet, that's it.
Well, I
may just be a quiet man, but I will do some good work for you, sir.
Thanks. Let me know if there's any trouble. I'm going to listen to some music.
Certainly, Mr. Grove, certainly.
This is good music.
With that, we zoom out from this large facility down to,
Well, we're at Central Park, and Agent Thunder is just seeing the sights. He's looking at all the pigeons and more pigeons.
There's a lot of pigeons. Actually, there's a lot of squirrels too. Probably. Oh,
There are squirrel toys for dogs. Birds.
Agent Thunder is wandering his way through the park when he exits out on the west side, leading up to one of the major streets.
An Uber driver is coming, but this is not any regular Uber. Yes, you heard a car horn, but this is not a car. It is a tandem bicycle. So you're him, huh?
If by him you mean myself, then yes.
They wanted me to pick up a guy in a suit.
Well, I am a guy, and I am in a suit.
All right. Look, I pick up a lot of people on my bike. This is my baby. This is Clarice.
Hello there, Clarice.
I'm Janet. She doesn't speak English. I do. Okay?
Well, hello there, Janet.
And none of this, okay? I'm
Say
supposed
hello.
to get you to a specific place, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do, okay?
Okay, well, certainly. Do you happen to have a second helmet or anything?
You scared?
It's not so much that.
As they continue talking with the bicycle, we hear the squealing of tires coming tearing around the other end of the block.
And then on the other side, there is also a screeching of tires of a car that is exactly the same model and make.
These are 2 large SUVs, pure white. Everything, even the rubber of the tires themselves, everything is pure white about them.
Even the side mirrors, they're just whited out. No reflection at
Very
all.
unsafe to drive with. That's how it is. These then flick on their high beams and begin tearing toward the bicycle in the center of the block.
What's going on?
You know what? Forget about the helmet. Let's go.
Agent Thunder actually takes the head of the bike.
Oh.
Hey, sir, what are you doing?
I just wanted to give Clarice a little test ride.
And with that, they they tear out of the way as the two cars swing together in unison behind.
They're coming closer and closer. They're actually gaining speed with Agent Thunder, going down a bike lane in the center and then going each way actual roads.
Look, you're not going fast enough. Just trade off with me. Trade off with me. The two of them then begin clambering around the edges of the bike, shifting position. This is my baby, and I know how to treat her.
They start going 20 kilometers faster than they were before. Whoa!
Janet is a fiend with this bicycle. They tear ahead. The cars fall further back.
One of the cars comes right behind and starts revving against this bike, inching closer and closer.
Janet then takes a sharp right and kicks up onto the sidewalk. They are weaving through pedestrians. Whoa!
Agent Thunder knows exactly how to dispose of the first vehicle. He goes into his pocket, pulls out the makeup kit, and flips it open, dabs each of the chemicals, and with one slow motion flick,
It manages to go and rub across the top of the car. It then explodes, blowing a new sunroof into the car that it didn't used to have one.
and it goes into a complete barrel roll spiral
And hits the other car.
Both of them escape and go to a secluded location, Jan's apartment.
Well, that certainly was some ride there.
Look, never do that again.
Never.
This is my life here.
Well, I'm sorry, I just...
And what the hell was that? That's never happened to me before. Well, who do you work for?
Well, it's somewhat classified, but I suppose you're my only lead.
They told me they were an insurance company.
We insure a little bit more than that, but ensuring the safety of the world itself.
We should get into my apartment. You can tell me everything, okay?
Certainly. Does the bike go up with you, or...?
Yes. They go up, and they go to the apartment.
There's only one chair. Okay. Because a bike doesn't need a chair. Okay, start talking then.
Well, it's quite simple. Have you noticed that there is a large import of large buildings, obelisk type shape?
You talking about those weird Groco ones?
Yes.
The one with that sloppy design work on the front of it?
Yes. The one that has the C within the G.
Yeah, it's real lame.
Yes. But we suspect that it might be dangerous. It is quite odd that they have all been built so quickly and so geometrically.
Wait, is this because of that fair that I picked up a week ago? That one weird scientist guy that wanted to go into one of those things?
What about this science guy?
I don't know, he just had a lab coat and he kept mumbling something into a cell phone. It was weird that he was just like still on his phone while we were on a bike, because usually people like to hold onto the handlebars, but he was just going crazy with it.
He was free riding.
No one calls it that, but sure. As the main cyclist in the room. Come on.
I'm from a different country, so...
Would you say that he actually managed to get into one of these buildings despite there being no doors, no windows?
Yeah, I didn't follow him and see how he got in.
Did he sneak around the back or anything? You just let him off on the curb?
Well, yeah, it was weird. He wanted to go tie his shoe, like, for 10 minutes before he even went close to the building.
Janet, I think I'm going to need you to deliver me to this very same building. Though, I know we've had a lot of excitement with that car chase today, but just tomorrow works, first thing in the morning.
For $40 it will.
Service doesn't usually give me a credit card.
$40 it will.
I'll go down to my bank and get my own personal money out. I'll be back.
Agent Thunder leaves.
Agent Thunder spends the rest of the evening looking for a bank. He's very lost in New York City.
He's walking around, he finally finds a bank, gets $40, actually $50 because he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's that tip we were talking about. He's at the ATM, slowly counting out the money that was just released to him. When he gets a strange sensation, he feels as though he's being watched. He glances across the street, up on the roof of a building.
He sees a figure, a shadowy figure, and this figure is holding something. Something long, and something he suspects very dangerous.
Before he knows it, a bullet has gone straight through the wad of money in his hand.
Agent Thunder quickly gets out of the way and takes cover.
So much for the tip.
He tears around behind a dumpster that was just around the corner.
A laser is pointing and going around this area. And then we see this laser, after a few minutes, goes up and up. And it's pointing at the apartment of Janet.
Oh no, I need to get back up there.
Agent Thunder tears around the corner and is climbing up a fire escape on the back of the building.
After another shot has been shot, we hear a glass breaking and a scream from Janet. Ah! Ah!
Just hold on a minute.
We hear the ringing of the bicycle bell from inside.
Agent Thunder then gets to the very top and then goes through the window that was broken. And as he is doing this, another shot has been shot and is whizzing past Agent Thunder's face, going directly toward Janet.
With a quick twist of the pin on his lapel, it extends out at super speed and hits the bullet mid-flight, redirecting it.
Yeah, it skewers it and then turns it a little bit and then unskewers to the wall. Oh. What the hell was that?
Sorry, but I don't think we can wait till tomorrow morning. Grab Clarice and let's go.
Okay.
They're tearing through the hall, and we still hear random shots coming off that come flying through the drywall as they move their way through the hallway.
As they're moving through the hallway and dodging all this fire, it suddenly stops, and they keep running down this hallway.
That sniper's an incredible shot.
Oh, I just hope he isn't fast. Right in front of them is the sniper. He has his sniper kind of like he's leaning on it, like all cool like. And he's staring at both of them, hallway style. Hallway style!
You know, in the style of a hallway.
Who are you?
The only time that you'll know who I am is when I'll attend your funeral. He lifts the big sniper and uses it like a blunt force object and uses it like a weapon.
With that, Agent Thunder pushes Janet and Clarice out of the way and goes forward and braces against the slam of the sniper. It's incredibly painful against his forearm, but he still manages to hold off with his immense strength. He then activates his pin, and they now go into like a quarterstaff battle.
Click, click. Boom. This is a gun that I'm miming. A bullet flies through the air.
Just before it strikes Agent Thunder, we see a flash of rubber as he's pulled out of the way. Janet riding Clarice, hallway style.
On this tandem bike, they are now going down the stairs, bump after bump.
And tearing around the corners of this very tight stairwell. And then busting out an emergency door out off the edge of the fire escape, down onto the street, and away into the night.
Away into the night they go, and they go to a certain park in New York and camp out for the night. Nowhere is safe after an assassin shows up.
What seems to be wrong? Thank you for that save, but...
They got her. Clarice gave her life for you.
The bike?
Well, yeah. I mean, the frame is shot.
The frame is shot. There's bullet went right through the water bottle I had in the holder. It was full of Gatorade. It's like she's bleeding.
You have a very strange relationship with this bike.
Hey, I'm not the one who's getting killed all of a sudden here.
No. Look, this was my fault. And as the person who is at fault, I will solve this. And when this is all over, I will get you a bigger and much nicer Clarice. Unless she's irreplaceable.
Yeah, I kind of love this bike, buddy.
Then I'll repair it.
Well, thank you. I actually gotta say it was kind of exhilarating.
This job often is. However, it is not over.
Right.
We have to figure out who that man was and why they were trying to kill us. We have not even investigated this place, but they might have suspected you. Even glancing at a man for 10 minutes tying his shoe might be enough to get rid of you.
Okay, so do we still wait for the morning, or is now the time to strike?
I think we have to go into the front door and go incognito.
I thought you said there weren't front doors.
Well, we have to find one.
We have to find. Enough of that. Let's get going.
I question everything.
The two of them head off toward the nearest of the buildings. They're just walking, Clarice. They're not in a huge hurry. They're just trying to keep a low profile.
Okay. So, what's the plan?
You said you kneeled down to tie your shoelace?
Yes, just over there.
Right here.
Yeah. Agent Thunder goes to kneel down and do the exact same thing that this man did.
He's doing it over top of one of those subway grills, the ones that lead down into the tunnels below. He feels a slight draft as he kneels down.
The draft isn't like wind or anything, it's literally a guy blowing into his face. What's the password?
Groko?
Dang it. Yeah, that's it. As the Groko thing happens, there's like stone bricks that lie this foyer here. However, each one goes down and becomes this staircase.
Creating a new tunnel that leads underneath up into this strange obelisk structure. As they start heading down, the guy who was there asking for passwords says, "Hey, no bugs in here."
Agent, I think I'll stay out here. I mean, Greg. Because we're incognito.
Yes. My first name, Greg. Well, if you really think that's the best, I'll look for you when I'm on the outside again.
Okay. I will see you again, right?
I still owe you $40. Plus tip.
Plus tip, I am.
What a strange thing for a secret entrance conversation. Okay. So, Agent Thunder continues his way into the facility.
He walks inside, and immediately he is met with large frames on this hallway here. Large frames of what Groko used to be 3 weeks ago. This is a very new business, a very new conglomerate. All of the frames are blueprints and plans, city deeds, property papers.
See all this. He also sees images of scientists working around these large vats, large metal vats.
They're like stirring, they're adding salt.
In the pictures?
Yes. They're not like, it's not Harry Potter.
I was confused.
He walks through this hallway and eventually comes up to the other end where there is a stairway up into what he assumes is the building. He sneaks his way up, step by step.
But this sneaking is no use, for someone knew he was coming. and huge, like disco, multicolored lights turn on, and like a dance song starts playing. In the very center, we see our hanging chair individual as he spins, this time a perfect spin.
What's the meaning of this?
I've been waiting for you. I knew someone would stop me, either very soon or very late, and it turns out they decided to stop me right when I'm about to push the big red button. Isn't that funny?
Is it that button? That one right beside you there?
No?
It sounds a lot like it's that button.
No. Yes, it is. But it's now behind me, so you can't stop me.
I think I'm gonna still have to try. With that, Agent Thunder activates his pin and extends the pole out just around beside the man, and he starts to try to push him out of the way. But as he does, we hear another shot ring out, and a net explodes around, capturing him to the ground.
You really
to the wall. I don't want to lie down.
You really thought it was gonna be that easy?
What's the meaning? And we see the sniper walk down and join up with Mr. Grow here. Wait,
You're welcome, boss. It took me a little bit, but I got him. Good. Now go and play. I have to talk to this man. So.
Go and play? What do you mean play?
Just play a video game on your phone or something. I don't care. Do you have any idea what I'm trying to accomplish?
No, but I assume it involves city planning and vats.
That was most of it.
Do you realize what Growco's history was? We started off as a development company. We helped with urban infrastructure, civic projects, that sort of thing. But I was never appreciated for my vision. I always suggested things that would make the city run smoother, things that would make it work better, things that could improve this old waste of a city. And I was always brushed aside. Well, I decided to take things into my own hands. Once I acquired the locations for these 8 obelisks, I had the perfect staging grounds to recover the entirety of this island in chrome.
What kind of madman would have an idea like that?
The same one who's having a dance party right now. I'm pretty weird.
Yes. I have noticed.
But. Now that you're here, I think it's only fair that I give you a grand view over the transformation of this city.
Well, I have been to New York before, and it wasn't the best experience.
As he's having this very stalling monologue about his first time in New York when he bought a hot dog, but it was so bad of a hot dog that he threw up for 3 days straight. That's the whole story. He slowly takes his makeup kit and dabs a few dabs and places it on the crotchal region of this big bass. His corduroy pants are now tainted.
Man, I really don't understand why you're telling me about the vomiting because of a hot dog.
Well, it's just that all of us have a very embarrassing and bad experience, and you're about to have one right now.
Smoke!
With that, the crotch of his corduroy pants just explodes, blasting Mr. Grow up against the side of the structure.
Taking away the net and wrapping it around his hand as some sort of blunt force object.
Let's finish this right now, me and you, and see what wins, the working man or the businessman.
You see, this man adjusts the rims on his glasses, and over top of the rest of him forms a fully chrome morph suit.
Agent Thunder.
Oh, right. Except his weird goatee still pokes out the front.
That is not chrome at all.
Just-
It's regular
just
gross
for
skin and
flavor,
hair.
you know. All right. You against me. and we'll see who gets to do what with the fancy button.
Agent Thunder takes a few swings at him, and nothing seems to work. Completely solid. Ugh. Wraps the net around his leg and tries to trip him, but he is too heavy.
Do you not understand the metallurgic workings of chrome? Once you've added a little bit of salt into the mixture, it's damn near indestructible.
I knew that salt was important.
And with that, Mr. Grow leaps forward and delivers a massive punch. Not so tough now, huh, tuxedo boy? He's lifted up, and then Mr. Grow just slams him down in the middle of the room. And it's like slow-mo, just like... Still getting up? You still think you have a chance?
I don't need chance. When I can always flip a coin.
He takes the button off, flips it as such into the air.
As the pin spins through the air, it does activate, and it comes forward like a perfect pool shot, billiard cue, right directly into his chest, knocking him off kilter.
Agent Thunder then sees his only weakness, finally, and grabs him by the goatee. He then does a face slam on the floor.
Why did I have the style to leave that uncovered?
It's because nothing is just shiny and happy-go-lucky. Some parts of a city is, yes, not as nice as the rest.
You know what? For all your optimism, you've been paying too much attention to my pizzazz, and you haven't been watching for the quiet man. With that, we see Charles was not actually playing a game on his phone this whole time. With a quick aim of his sniper rifle, we see him pull the trigger, and a bullet flies out, aimed directly at the red button. Agent Thunder is too far away to reach it, but in this moment, as the bullet approaches the large button, we hear a familiar sound, the ringing of a bicycle bell. Tearing through faster than the bullet because she's so good at riding a bike. Janet comes soaring in and takes the bullet directly into the frame of Clarice, splitting it in two.
Oh, Corey!
No, I'm still on the ground. I can't see if it worked or not.
And I'm still a sniper standing here.
In that brief moment, Agent Thunder runs forward, knocks the gun up in the air, and punches him in the face.
Punches him, and the gun is still in the air, and the butt of the gun hits him directly in the head.
Nighty night.
Right. I was gonna make it chrome. I was gonna make it new. You can't do this.
What good has all this chrome done you so far? You want to wipe over everything in this city. Pave away all the lives, all the history that these people have formed. Look at what can be achieved by the citizens of New York City.
See Janet just mourning Clarice, but still standing strong.
This was foolhardy for you to attempt. And now, you're going to jail.
I don't think so. I think all of us are gonna die in this building, as well as the other people who are in other buildings.
As the thumb rests upon the button, Agent Thunder uses his incredible index finger strength to hold back the onslaught. The full destruction of New York City, held down by a simple match of a weird thumb wrestling kind of thing.
After his index finger, he retracts it and then goes for the strongest flick of all time and breaks this man's thumb.
It snaps back out of place, and the remote falls down. No! How did you manage to do that?
I'm not sure.
Mr. Grow slumps down into a pile among the other broken bicycle parts on the floor of this obelisk.
Janet, come here.
No, he said I was going to wait outside, but I got word and I thought that maybe something would happen to you, so I...
Janet, you're the best Uber driver that this entire world has ever known. You saved my life. And we saved countless others.
I'm happy that I could help. I hope this gets me a good rating. But,
It will give you more than a rating. You see, the service is missing a few things. We are a young intelligence organization.
And among all those skilled agents in different missions, we could always use new drivers.
Really?
Yes. I know you said nothing could ever replace Clarice, but I'm sure with the assets that we have at the service, we can still rebuild her.
Thanks, Agent. That makes me feel a lot better.
Thank you.
but I still need that $40 if you got it.
It's quite religious, this one. Get it because it's full of holes? It's holy?
You bungled that pun.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure I could just switch it out of the bank. Thanks, Agent.
No problem. Why don't we go outside?
The two of them drag Mr. Grow, as well as the knocked out Charles Quiet,
And a broken tandem bicycle.
out onto the street. It's still the middle of the night, moonlight shining down, cars whizzing by, in New York City that is unsuspecting and didn't know how close it was to destruction. You know, it's actually pretty nice out here this time of night.
It is. I forget how beautifully loud New York is at night.
Well, it's not the only beautiful thing around here.
Yeah, that pigeon was quite nice too.
I'm not talking about the pigeon. Just as the two lean forward into an embrace, a large car comes rolling up and hits like a puddle and just splashes them. Oh! The window rolls down. Agent! Sorry about that. It's been a little while since I've driven before.
It's the director of the service.
Oh,
You
director!
do, if you wouldn't mind climbing in. Just pop those two up in the trunk if you could.
They just throw just bad people into the
Director, I didn't expect to pick up so soon.
No one expects me, Agent. That's why we are the service. Now, I have a new mission for you, and you could use a driver. Hello, Janet. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I assume you run the thing with the agents and all that stuff?
Yes, I've heard all of your conversations.
I
Anyway,
just ride a bicycle, okay?
I have a new mission for you, Agent. This one will not take place in the Big Apple, of course. It will take place, of course, in Barcelona. There are some warlords who have to be taken care of.
Ah, sounds like a bit of an adventure, and I'm up for it.
Well, an adventure it is. And, of course, you know the dire situations, because the world will always need Agent Thunder!